Good morning, Patriots. I guess we are alive again this morning. It is Mike Cook, the Patriot, coming to you live from Central Missouri. I hope you're having a wonderful, blessed day. It looks like it's going to be beautiful here in the heartland of America again. I love this time of year. I love the springtime. It's just a beautiful time of year because you get to have joy in the spring. As you're coming on, please say hi to me where you're watching from. Do me a favor. If you're watching this on YouTube, go over and hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. And ring the little bell and comment. Let me know over there. Let me know what you think. And share this video. Look, the algorithms are getting me. They're squashing. They don't want to hear. They don't want people to hear what I have to say because, well, I ask too many questions. I don't really even say this is the truth when I do my show. I just ask questions. They don't like the questions I ask. So anyways, if you're over on the YouTube, this is YouTube. Follow me over there. All my videos are live streamed on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So go to both places. Then they're loaded up to Rumble. So make sure you follow me on Rumble. Now, I know it says, 61 subscribers. It's in the neighborhood of about 3,000 now. So maybe I ought to get a new screenshot, right? So, and then you can also follow me on Telegram. The other ones I'm on there, but I'm not really using it. I gotta focus on certain ones. So Telegram's where I put all of my thoughts as I'm organizing, as people send me stuff or I'm reading something, I'll share it there. And that's where I'll get most of the information that I use for my show. Excuse me. Hair right across my eyeball. So make sure you follow. If you want to know what I'm thinking, if you want to know, there's a lot of stuff I share on the Telegraph that I can't share other places because, well, frankly, they'll get rid of you. So go over there and follow me over there. Lots of good stuff. I do appreciate everybody jumping on. It is 8:33 a.m. on 3/29/21. Almost a quarter of the year gone. Where does time fly? In the year of 2021, the year of victory. But it's going to take all year to get there. I've received a lot of support from y'all here lately. I've also received, my phone's just a dinging away here. I need to tone it down just a little bit. And there we go. Anyway, so I've been leaving a lot of support, but I've got some crazy comment stuff. You don't know nothing about the Bible. You need to check yourself. Okay. I challenge you. Yeah, I kind of get out of the way. The church orthodox are in the way. I don't know, out of the way or in the way. I kind of avoid it because, this week is Holy Week. This week, Palm Sunday, Good Friday, then Resurrection Sunday. According to Christendom, this is the week that our Lord and Savior walked into Jerusalem and then was sacrificed on the cross. And those that did it were the religious. So I want to keep my options open just in case that the dogma of the church is wrong. Let the Spirit speak to me. Keep my eyes open. There was a few that were able to see past what they'd been taught to the facts of what the Word of God said and saw Jesus for who he was almost immediately. That's who I want to be. So I'll challenge. I'll ask questions. And on the political side, I'll challenge and ask questions. So I hope you got yourself a steaming hot cup of coffee and you're ready to start today. I got lots of news and information, lots of crazy stuff going on. Speaking of crazy stuff, we've still got this boat, this little tiny ship sitting over there in the Suez Canal causing all kinds of problems. Got Joe Biden over there like he was captain of the ship. Got some problems, Yeah, but we got some solutions. See them, I keep picking on the rednecks from Alabama, and if you're one of those guys, bear with me because I is one too. I actually lived for a short time in Phoenix City, Alabama. If that tells you anything. But I'm only picking on you because that's where the heart of America is in the old rednecks. Is in the folks that work hard, play hard, and pray hard. You know what I mean. Anyways, the old rednecks from Alabama, or maybe it was Missouri, I don't know. But they came up with an idea. They got that ship straightened out right there. It says two drunk rednecks and second generation Ram trucks. Hey, nothing could stop them second gens. And so they go to town, they straighten the ship out. So what happened over the night? Well, they started breaking last night that the ship had been freed. Free! We're free! We're free! Free, my pets, free. Anyways, what movie is that from? So it said the giant ship operated by Taiwan's Evergreen gets partially freed from the Suez Canal. Partially freed. Huh. That doesn't sound freed. Ever Given, the massive ship blocking the Suez Canal for 6 days, has been partially freed. Suez Canal container ship is partially freed. It's all over the news. Partially freed, partially freed. The Suez Canal tide rises and falls. Scavengers toil, or salvagers toil. Scavengers, same thing. But, oops, where'd it go? But the ship remains stuck. So what happened? Well, I think what they're saying is they got the ship turned, but it's still resting on some rocks and stuff, and they can't move it yet. So it's the channel's partially free, but I don't know if it's freed enough to get another boat by there or not. I don't know. I just know that they're saying they got it freed, and Captain Biden, he's ready to set sail again. As a matter of fact, Captain Biden was on TV the other day, and he was talking about things, and just listen to what Captain Biden had to say.
To work and our kids to school safely, to get our kids to market swiftly, to power a clean energy revolution in this country.
Say that again.
Power clean energy revolution in this country.
No, not that.
Our kids to market swiftly, to power
what?
To get our kids to market swiftly, to power a clean energy revolution in this country. We need to modernize America's infrastructure. Safely, to get our kids to market swiftly, to power.
To get our kids to market swiftly, what? Get our kids to market swiftly? Man, this guy just spit stuff out of his mouth. But a person starts suffering mentally. Part of that is this uncontrolled censor that makes you tell the truth. So, of course, nobody's questioned that at all. Nobody's said, "What did you say, Mr. President?" Nobody's even concerned in the least bit about what he was saying there. But I don't want to bring our kids to market. I mean, I'll take my child to the supermarket with me and kind of show them how money works. But I don't want to bring my kids to market. What market are you bringing the kids to? What does it have to do with the boat? Probably nothing. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Nothing to see here. Oh, wait a second. I'm trying to load another video up. Apologize. Nothing to see here. So, you got the canal there, and you got this. I mean, look at this. Look at this massive group. I mean, this is what's sitting there trying to get through the canal right now. Is that not amazing? All these ships. I don't know if this is on the north side or the south side. I imagine it's probably on both sides. Waiting their turn to go pass through the canal. And just sitting there. So it's kind of unreal. I'm not really sure even I don't know. It's just makes you wonder what's going on here, what's actually happening. A lot of ships are now not even heading there. They're heading down south around the Horn of Africa, which adds great cost, and it adds a week or two to the time it takes for people, for the whatever you're shipping, to get wherever it's going. So this is going to cause problems in the marketplace. And I know the media is actually starting to dribble out there, toilet paper, we're not going to have toilet paper. Well, let me explain something to you. Just like the last time when we didn't have toilet paper, all of the toilet paper pretty much in the United States is made here in the United States. Did you know that in states like Georgia and Alabama, which I always pick on, and even on the coast out there on the West Coast, up in the Oregon area, in the Washington area, where they have an abundance of trees, that they grow trees like corn, I mean, in rows, and they grow them and they cut them down, and then they grow some more, and then they cut them down, and they grow some more, and they cut them down to make paper. Did you know that? Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. They're cutting down the old growth forests in the Amazon to make toilet paper. No, they're not. It's not even good for making toilet paper. No, they grow specific trees for this specific purpose. A lot of people don't even realize that. It's the ignorance of our school system nowadays and the propaganda that they're trying to portray to us or betray to us, whichever it is. So also in the news today, breaking in the news, is that New York will officially begin requiring vaccine passports on April 2nd. Now, I don't know about you, but the idea of vaccine passports doesn't really sound like a good idea to me. It kind of sounds like maybe, I don't know, it kind of sounds like a bad idea to me. I'm not a genius or anything, but we used to have this thing called the Constitution. And, in this fabled story of the Constitution, in this fabled, this once forgotten history, people cried out, give me liberty or give me death. Now it's show me your papers. So let's read the article. It says New Yorkers will be required to show vaccine passports, proof that they have received the COVID-19 vaccine in order to re-enter society. I didn't know that I had to re-enter society. I never left. Similar to mobile airline boarding passes, individuals will be able to either print out their pass or store it on their smartphones using Excelsior Pass wallet app. Said a press release about the program. Each pass will have a secured QR code with participating businesses, venues can scan using a companion app to verify proof of COVID-19 negative test results or proof of vaccination. An individual's data is kept secure and confident at all times because they would never share that information with a government agency that might someday use it against you. No. They would never do it. I mean, you can trust your government. Yes. And this is just in New York City, right? Oh, Biden administration is set to launch a COVID-19 passport that Americans must have to engage in commerce and would track Americans that took the vaccine. They're here. The Biden regime is developing a vaccine passport Americans must have to engage in. And you're saying, no, that can't be so. That can't be so. So the Political says it this way. Vaccine passports pose an ethical thicket for the Biden administration. The White House says the government shouldn't issue credentials or store data. So reading the whole article, which I'm not going to do, but here's a little piece. The White House says the government shouldn't issue credentials or store data. But it has it's but it's held discussions with tech firms on how a passport system might work. I mean, we wouldn't do anything like that, but how would you do it? Asking for details about whether pharmacies and other establishments might provide necessary data. The Department of Health and Human Services has also sought input from 25 agencies on the passports, including if they encourage their own employees to use them. Sounds familiar with the conversations, or sources familiar with conversations say Health and Human Services, health technologies have declined to comment. It says here, the White House says the government shouldn't, didn't say they wouldn't, it said they shouldn't issue credentials or store the data. You know, the whole campaign, Joe Biden said he wasn't coming after your guns, but now they're coming after your guns. And the whole campaign, he said he wouldn't sign executive orders because that would be, that would be what a dictator does. What does he sign more than any president ever in the first 3 months? So now he's saying, we're not going to have a passport. We're just going to test it out in New York to make sure that it works. But we're not going to have a nationwide passport. We're just going to discuss, create the program, and prepare it for implementation when we do have it. But we're not going to have it. There's nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Nothing to see at all. I mean, this kind of reminds me of something. This.
Mm-hmm. What is he doing in the uniform, General Hogan, please? Oh, you went too far. I must report this. It would be worth my life if I do not report this.
It's only until tomorrow, and he's going to take it off again. After he steals the tank.
Oh?
From the Panzer Division.
Oh?
He brings it here into the barracks.
Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
I'm sorry, that tickles me. I see nothing. It just seems to be that this government is just kind of stumbling along. But is that just image? Are they just portraying an image of bumbling and stumbling along when behind the scenes? I mean, the president, the faux president, the captain, shall I say, of the ship is just a figurehead to what's going on behind the scenes. He really doesn't have a clue. I mean, he really doesn't have a clue. So, also in the news today, let me pop this up right here. Also in the news today is this tennis shoe stuff. Have you all seen this thing about the tennis shoe, this Satan tennis shoe? I believe it's from the guy. He teamed up with Nike that did that country song. Was somebody put it in the comments? You know what I'm talking about. Was a Hometown Road, or I haven't listened to top 40 anything, country, rock, rap, anything in 25, 30 years. So I try to avoid it. I prefer the old stuff. I really do. I prefer the ugly guys that were real, or gals that were really talented and played great music. That's what I prefer. But anyways, moving on. And even in the Christian music, I know y'all, I only listen to, we're on here, I guess, I don't want to name names. I only listen to the Christian channel, and I only listen to Christian music. You know, Christian music is an industry just like, back when it was Petra and Keith Green and Carmen and stuff like that, in the younger days, that's when it was spirit-filled and all that stuff. Now it's an industry. It's an industry just like they produce albums for secular music. In fact, the same producers are involved. And so when a Christian artist who has led thousands of worships of God in these big arenas, and he's famous and he's playing his music, comes out and says, well, I don't want to be a Christian artist anymore and I'm gay, I'm not surprised. I mean, frankly, it happened recently, and I couldn't tell you the guy's name because I never listened to a single drop of his music. Because like I said, I haven't listened to that kind of music. I haven't listened to anything in the last 30 years that's come out, for the most part. There's a song here or there. Maybe Weird Al. But I'm not surprised, because it's no longer a ministry, it's a business. I don't have a problem with business. I just chose not to give them my money or my attention. So anyways, have you all heard about the tennis shoe? The tennis shoe, it says the only people wearing the Satan shoe with real human blood sloshing around in the heel. Now, most of what you're going to see in the heel is actually food coloring, but there is a drop of human blood in the heel of this shoe. So, yeah, here we go. Let's watch this video. Everybody ready to go out and buy those shoes? What do you think? Yeah, so there was a Bible verse on there. Did y'all notice that? I noticed that. So I went and looked up that Bible verse. It was Luke 10:18. It says that he replied, now this is red letters, so this is Jesus. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. I have given you authority to trample on the snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. Now, he's putting this on his Satan shoe, and he's using this like a curse. He's taking this verse out of context, and he's saying that Satan fell to earth like lightning. And I have given you, meaning the wearer of this shoe. Satan has given the wearer of this shoe authority. But they're taking it out of context, because the rest of the verses say this. The 72 returned with joy and said, Lord, even the demons submit to your name. Not quite what I think he's trying to portray there, or betray. You see, what happened was the disciples were sent out by Jesus to go out and lay hands on people and heal people and spread the gospel. And he sent them all out, right? And to do works and signs and wonders and for the people. And they came back and they were fired up. Of course, wouldn't you be? And they said, the 72 returned with joy and said, Lord, even the demons submit to our names. And he replied, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. He was there when God cast Satan out of heaven. And I have given you, not the wearer of these tennis shoes, but to the 72 who returned with joy, and those who follow Jesus from then on. I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and overcome all the powers of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. However, do not rejoice that spirits submit to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven. Left a little bit out of that, didn't he? I just find that interesting. You know, we are right now in a spiritual war, a huge spiritual war. A lot of the prophets are saying we're in a spiritual war. There's so much going on. You know, everything in the media is a lie. You're being deceived big time. You can't, I mean, what's real, what's not real, what's CGI, what's not CGI, what's a mask, what's not a mask. I don't know, but I know that whatever narrative, and remember, I've said this, I've preached this now for over a year, a narrative. Anytime the media talks about a narrative, they're talking about a lie. The media's narrative, the president's narrative, the governor's narrative. Those are all lies. A narrative is anything other than the truth. We are in a spiritual warfare right now. We are being attacked. We battle not against flesh and blood, but with prince and powers, and somebody quote it for me, spirits of the air and all that stuff. I can't remember the verse exactly. And I didn't look it up because it just came to my head. I know somebody right now can put that in the comments. But we're battling against, this isn't this the ship over there, the stuff that's happening in DC, the stuff that's happening in New York, all of it is spiritual warfare. And it's starting to really intensify. We're really starting to intensify. And you know, this is Holy Week, by the way, isn't it? Could be a coincidence. So a friend of mine on Facebook, somebody who watches my videos, sent me this the other day. This was over the weekend. So this happened at a church in Sandy, Oregon. Sandy's about 30 miles outside of Portland. This is happening all over Oregon. I will start posting all the pictures from different churches this is happening. But anyways, we need to stand up and fight against this before it's too late. War on Christians. This is what it says. God is gay. And this one says, God is a fake and gay. Well, how can you be fake and gay? I don't know. These people are dumb. But they're damaging these churches, vandalizing these churches. You know, why is it atheists are so stuck on God? They always talk about God. They talk about God. They're more concerned about whether God is real or not than Christians are. Have you ever noticed that? I mean, if you don't believe in God, why don't you just go live your life however you live and do the things however you do and not worry about if someone else believes? What difference does it make to you if they go to church? What difference does it make to you if they don't include you in their club? If you don't believe, go start your own club. I mean, I've driven by places like that. You got them. Kind of gross, but hey, cool, whatever, you know, your thing is your thing. I don't have a problem with it. But why you got to mess with us? Why you got to mess with our thing? I mean, if there's no God and there is no afterlife, why do you care? I mean, you're just going to live your life, you're going to die, turn back into dust, all's good, right? Why do you care? Or is there something you're seeking? Is there some answers to some questions, maybe? You should probably ask those questions. You should probably seek those answers. You know, the Bible says, knock and you shall find, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open to you. You gotta try it. See what happens. Want some mind-blowing stuff, my friend? Chase that rabbit. The media is lying to you. Here's a perfect example. You know that shooter the other day? Investigation. Shooter was factually Arabic, but morally white. Do you think this is a new phenomenon? Do y'all remember Trayvon Martin? Oh yeah, Black Lives Matter. Say the name, say the name, say the name. You remember Zimmerman? How they talked up Zimmerman, the white Hispanic Zimmerman. First of all, he wasn't a white Hispanic. He was a Hispanic. He was a very Hispanic looking man. Now, whether or not what happened in those incidents, my point still remains. The media is lying to you to fit a narrative. And a narrative is a lie, period. There is no other option. If they tell you anything other than the truth, they're lying to you. And I posted this on my Telegram account. That's this one right here. So if you guys want to go over, and there's some more above there, some good stuff above there. But I posted this on there, and I'm just going to play part of it, and then I'm going to fast forward. But this is Tucker Carlson.
Welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight.
4 or 5 years ago.
Looks like it could be a protest event for the ages, with thousands of anti-Donald Trump agitators descending on the city. And why wouldn't they? Advertisements posted in more than 20 cities have been recruiting paid protesters to come here to D.C. and help disrupt the inauguration. The group Demand Protest, which describes itself as, quote, the largest grassroots support organization in the United States, says it will pay professional protesters $50 an hour in addition to a $2,500 monthly retainer to support their efforts. We're joined now by Dom Talipso, Director of Operations in Los Angeles for Demand Protest. Dom, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no problem, Tucker.
So this is a sham. Your company isn't real. Your website is fake. The claims you have made are lies. This is a hoax. Let me start at the beginning, however, with your name, Dom Talipso, which is not your real name. It's a fake name.
Well,
we ran you through law enforcement level background checks, and that name does not exist. So let's start out with the truth. Tell me what your real name is.
It's Dominic Tuyipso. It's per L's are silent.
That's a lie, and you know it's a lie. And we asked you for ID at the Los Angeles Bureau, and you said you didn't have ID with you. But Dallas, you have a wallet on you. Every grown man does. Hold up a credit card. You can cover the number to our camera and show us any piece of documentation with the name Dominic Tuyipso on it. And you can't because that's not your real name.
Sure. Absolutely, I'll do that in just a moment. I might just begin with wondering, Tucker, you're not accusing me of being a hoax, are you?
I'm saying that your name is fake and this company is fake and that the claims you've made on your website are false. And
So what we got here, let me set this up. This is from before the real president, Donald J. Trump's inauguration in 2016, 2017. This guy organized a huge media blitz saying there was going to be massive protests at the inauguration. And he said that he was paying them to do so. And the media was all over this guy. They thought this was a great idea. They was interviewing him. He was all over for like a week. He was all over. Well, Tucker gets him on his show and rips him. And I just want to fast forward because they go back and forth a little bit. But for the sake of time and the censors, I want to fast forward because it gets kind of crazy towards the end. So let's see here.
Such as Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Peyton Manning.
right?
And
Okay, let me back up just a little bit.
yeah, the main point basically is that we are greatly supportive of national treasures such as Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Peyton Manning.
Right.
And we really support their efforts to really get the truth out there. And in the case of the current client that we have right now, that client is very interested in releasing the Roswell papers.
Okay, he's supporting Peyton Manning. Now, I like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was a heck of a football player. As much as I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I hated it because he ripped their defenses apart year after year after year after year. And then he had the gall to move to Denver and continue to rip them apart twice a year. But what does Peyton Manning have to do with the president? This gets good.
I don't know it.
Really? So you're pretty supportive of Peyton Manning, are you?
Extremely.
Okay. You're not going to, obviously, this is performance art. I will say you're pretty good at it. When you convince papers like the Washington Times, which ran this pretty straight, to run your lies, to run this hoax, which I will concede is kind of amusing, what was the point of that? I mean, beyond just amusing yourself. Are you trying to make a political statement?
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty darn easy these days to just say whatever the heck you want on national TV and have it pass off as truth. And, it's pretty, I don't know, it's just pretty incredible to me how easy it was to get the coverage we got. By the way, I'm not saying any of this is a hoax or any of this isn't true. We've actually got 100,000 protesters going to Washington, D.C. to fight anybody who is opposed to Donald Trump. I mean, another main reason we shifted from being against Trump to Trump about 30 minutes ago was basically we realized initially he didn't really like Julian Assange or Peyton Manning. And when he kind of changed, when the election and the Assange connection was made, he essentially became a supporter of Assange, and so we are now supporting Trump in the hope that the Roswell documents from 1947 are finally released and put back into the hands of Fisher Stevens.
So the purpose of this whole thing, why I wanted to show you that, is that this guy got, back then, because he was anti-Trump, he got airplay all over the place. He was all over the news. And it was a troll. It was a massive troll. These people, this Mockingbird media, will just eat up anything that fits their narrative, even when it has nothing to do with reality. And they don't care. They're mocking you, Mockingbird media. They're mocking you. there's I don't want to waste all day. I ain't got all the time in the world, but if you go to my Telegram account, there's this article right here that talks about how OAN has been. There is an organization that it's a news press organization that runs the press room in the White House. And it talks about how this organization has left out like OAN and Epic Times and stuff like that. This is a really insider article that's about 6 minutes long. You should go watch it because it explains how the most open White House in American history, according to the White House, has completely left out any real news. Only the Mockingbird media gets to be in there. You know, when he had his press conference, he asked 10 scripted questions, or 10 scripted questions from 10 reporters that were pre-planned on a cheat sheet that he already had the answers to. You can call on this gal. So go watch that one. I'm not going to play the whole thing for y'all right now. But I encourage you to go to Telegram and get an account if you don't have one. And then if you want to comment on here, I'll add my link to the comments as soon as I'm done with this video. And you could just copy that link, search it, and it'll come right to my page. There's lots of good stuff on there. So I just want to leave you with a couple more things here real quick. This was written in 1957 by Ayn Rand. She wrote Atlas Shrugged. She wrote Fountainhead. I suggest you read those books if you haven't ever read them. They are all you're not allowed to read those books in school anymore, but I suggest you read them. When you see that in order to produce, you need to obtain the permission from men who produce nothing. When you see that money is flowing to those who deal not in goods, but in favor. When you see that men get richer by graft and by pull than by work, and your laws don't protect you against them, but protect them against you. When you see corruption being rewarded and honesty becoming a self-sacrifice, you may know that your society is doomed. Sound familiar, folks? There's one more thing here. This little nugget I found somewhere. It says the purpose of the Great Reset is the imposition of health dictatorship aiming at the imposition of liberal measures. Liberal radical measures. Boy, I can't talk. Hidden behind the tempting promises of ensuring a universal income and canceling individual debt. The price of these concessions from the International Monetary Fund will be the reunification of private property and adherence to a program of vaccination against COVID-19 and COVID-21 promised by Bill Gates, with the collaboration of main pharmaceutical groups. Beyond the enormous economic interest and motive of the promoters of the Great Reset, the imposition of vaccination will be accompanied by a requirement of a health passport and digital ID, with the consequent contact tracing of the population of the entire world. Those who do not accept these measures will be confined to detention camps. Now, okay, you're like, no, there ain't gonna be no detention camps. No, that ain't gonna happen. Or placed under house arrest, and their assets will be confiscated. Oh, that's ridiculous. Man, this time last year, if I told you that everybody's gonna have to be vaccinated in New York City, and you're gonna have an app on your phone that allows you to re-enter society once you've proven you've had your vaccine, he told me I was crazy. That was never going to happen. Well, it's happening on April 2nd. We live in interesting times. We live in a time of spiritual warfare. And men are choosing sides. Which side are you going to be on? As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And I promise you this, they will not cut my head off while I'm breathing. They may pick my body up from a pile of brass, but they won't cut my head off while I'm breathing. I appreciate everybody jumping on. Please follow me on the other social medias, on the Rumble, on YouTube's, especially on the Telegram. I'm now loading all my videos on the Telegram. I load them straight from, I download them, load them to Rumble, load them to Telegram, and that way they're at other places. So if any time that you can't find me, search for me there, because every day at 8:30 on YouTube and on Facebook, I go live. Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekend, sometimes not. I do appreciate everybody jumping on. I really do. I appreciate everybody commenting. I really do. Without you, I'm just blabbering to myself. You guys have a great day.